Hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video I'm going to talk about go back to going through my notes and getting all this stuff out, and I blended a bunch of them after 3 videos I'd made. I said I might, and I went home and kind of tried to organize them. They were different, like comments on different pages from different days, weeks, months, years maybe, and trying to combine them. I don't want to go into detail, it's more like highlights. So I want to go through some of the highlights. I'll try to add a little more than just highlights, you know, like you do on the outline. But we'll see how that works out. Okay, and this one I kind of try to make, you know, combine was about dysfunctional families. And this could be your dysfunctional family, including your cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, you know, next generation of them, you know, nieces, nephews, all that. And then there are people they're married to, and then maybe their family. Okay, it can be the whole extended family can be pretty big. And just say your in-laws. Some people, they didn't grow up in a dysfunctional family, but they marry somebody who did. Now, some people would say that's rare. I don't know. I don't know. But these are people who, say you grew up yourself in a dysfunctional family, and maybe some people call narcissistic family. And this family, they basically, it could happen that in order not to have, to experience any anxiety, they basically raise their children the same way they were raised. Okay, you know, the two parents combined the way that they were, you know, raised, which was, they were both from dysfunctional families. You see? Or it could be one who's more dominant than the other, maybe, you know, very permissive, and they raised more like the dominant side, which came from an abusive family, you know, however abusive. But like I say, somehow, some way, it's more like, you know, a way for them to reduce anxiety by just following whatever lead that was dysfunctional, that was somehow abusive. And, you know, and it can carry on generation after generation after generation. Now, who's going to be the one to break it? You know, to break that family tradition, to go past it, to actually do the work, to find out, you know, to get themselves better, you know, themselves healthier, and marry somebody healthy, and not continue to raise, you know, not raise their children in this way. Teach their children that would be the wrong way to do it. That school bus go a little further, because that was noisy. I didn't think you want to hear all that, but the road is bad enough as it is. But anyway, and another part of my notes I wrote down that was about people who grew up in this kind of family. They may not have processed through social developmental stages, and they may have to go back. You know, it's kind of like just regular stages in life. You walk before you crawl. You crawl before you walk. I knew I'd say that backwards. But social developmental stages and attachment stages, the ways of even learning what is good and bad attachment styles or behaviors, any of this kind of thing, any kind of stage, they may not have learned them, and they may have to go back to crawling, you know, to come back to where they're not dysfunctional, or just to learn, you know, I don't know, to learn what they skipped, and they needed it to perfect what they were past that too. I know that makes sense somewhere in there. Okay, also in my notes I had mentioned this about how, you know, some of the, you know, the families, say narcissistic families, dysfunctional families, that the way the parents, you know, the parents who are not moving past their own upbringing, they may be narcissistic, one or both, who knows. Maybe one is more of a authoritarian and the other more permissive. They have that parenting style. But anyway, they might collectively choose a favorite. I'm doing the irritating air quotes here. They might choose a favorite, and often that one can be the one who's quite ditzy. Okay, ditzy would be the word I like to use. But I think it's malleable. anyway, they can twist that person around whatever way they want to raise that person, whatever to be. But they have that one as a favorite. Now, it could also be that each parent has their favorite too. It could be that something like they want to live vicariously through that child. That maybe that child has something special about them. Say is very intelligent and they're really good. They're going to make it. They believe they're going to make it. They want that child to be the hero, okay, of the family. Now that doesn't make that child the narcissistic one. It could actually work the opposite, that the child is very altruistic, because that's what they're trying to do, is to make that child be so giving. One of the things they might be trying to do. I'm not saying this is 100% across the board. None of it is. But yeah, they pick one that is more like them, or that they feel will be the one to, it's their favorite, to more like stay home. Maybe one of them won't, that they're looking to the future, and that this one won't be, leave them an empty nest so much. Won't leave them alone. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't make that person the narcissistic one either. That could be more of the histrionic. It could be more that's learned how to get attention that they want from a parent. So now it could be any of these, but I would say more of the one that they want to make the maybe one of them wants to make the the one that society sees as wonderful or something great about them, that actually has that potential to do that, and they're wanting to, the world is, make that child the hero. Okay. Now the other ones, and then they also might have like the other two I've mentioned along with it if they have enough children. But the other ones collectively have a great jealousy toward the one that they want to make the family hero, because they might focus so much on that, one or both might focus so much on that it makes that one seem a little bit special. That one is a little bit special in some way, and I mean a good special, not like any special is bad, but you know what I'm saying. So the other ones are jealous, and that can last a lifetime. That can harm all of them for a lifetime. The parents picking favorites. So, like I said, I just wanted to do little highlights, but I went kind of deeper into that one. So let me get back to my highlights. I also wrote some notes about how being in a dysfunctional family, how many different ways it could be harmful, like I was just mentioning, for the rest of your life. And some of that includes, just like, say if you have siblings, you have more than one sibling, and they just ostracize you, you may feel that and expect that the rest of your life, and sometimes you experience it total. And I'm not saying to blame the victim at all, but it could happen. It just really could happen. And I was also wrote about the kind that winds up leaving. They're feeling so much. They're told so much. They're the black sheep, or they must be adopted. I always thought I was the black sheep, and I must have been adopted, because I was like, no. In my mind, it was thank you. Yeah. Anyway, that type, they may do something because they have a strong need for attachment to another human. That they might go into bad relationships, one after another, or it could be a really long-term negative relationship, just to have a sense of being attached to another human. But they might overlook all the warning signs, the red flags, the bright red blinking lights, like a railroad crossing. Yeah, they might overlook all of those, all the bad things, because they want that attachment. They do not have that attachment, and they feel like they need that attachment to another human, like I said. And that could lead to a lot of a lot of hurt. It can just, they're repeating, like I said earlier, family tradition of getting into bad relationships. And often that person, they may have grown up in a dysfunctional family. One of the parents might not be quite dysfunctional, as dysfunctional. But in some way, just, it is. That one might pick a favorite themselves. That's just not healthy, in my view. All of this is my view, and I could be wrong. But it's not healthy at all to pick a favorite. Now, I think it happens. Even as an adult, maybe you don't do it with a child, but you do it with other people, don't you? Really, and that could cause various problems also. You might do it with your in-laws. You pick a favorite. You may have a favorite sibling. We all do that, I think, at some point. Pick a favorite. It's not always healthy. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I think I covered that in this video, maybe other ones. So if you want to subscribe and you haven't already, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click on the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share on your own social media if you would, and I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.